your day? I just got back from a walk. Actually, not miserably hot outside, which was nice. What's up, approximate? Trying to pick my background vibe. Jay, I need more cat pictures. Hi, Delicious. Hi, Henry. How is your day treating you, Henry? Also, Jay, I'm mailing your package this week. I am putting something else in it that is not the house. I wanted to add something to the bag to the box. So there will be something a little extra in the box for you, and I hope when you get it, you are happy. Okay, yes, we love cat pictures. Hi, Chic. Hi, Blue Blue. Welcome. Yeah, remember the house that I painted for Jay like 1,000 years ago? I'm gonna send it to ya with something extra x.com. Yeah. So what's up, y'all? You almost forgot, OMG. You know what well, I haven't forgotten because it's by my desk, but I need to finish the fairy window. I think I got a little discouraged because I was trying to make the little outline for the circle and it wasn't like... It's a little bit more difficult than I anticipated because I didn't do a perfect circle. But you know, we're just gonna keep on trucking. But look, it does look like wood. A bit. Yeah, I need to get to that because I also wanted to mail out some cards for spring too, so. Oh, Henry, it's your day off. How'd you spend it? You know what I started watching before bed to like get me kind of tired? I started watching the original Planet of the Apes, and it's pretty good. Yeah. It came out, let's see, when did that come out now? Must have been the 1968? Yeah, original Planet of the Apes. I'm gonna look it up. The original, let's see, 1968, yep. So there's Planet of the Apes, then there's Beneath the Planet, then there's Escape, then there's Conquest, then there's Battle. Wow. Are they gonna make another one after Dawn of the Planet of the Apes? Is Planet of the Apes based on a book? If so, I would totally read it. It is based on a book. You saw your mom today? Oh, how was that, Henry? Did y'all eat something nice or visit? Yeah, honestly, when I started putting this on, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna put on this old movie to like get me tired before bed. And the first day, just like when the astronauts are kind of like exploring the planet, I'm like, also, is the music really loud? I'm turning it down a notch. I'm like, okay, this is like really boring. They're just like walking around. This is perfect to get me to fall asleep. But then last night it started picking up. I was like, this is a really cool movie. And it's even cool, like, because you know how like they have their like the apes in the old version, it's just like a mask. I guess it looks kind of funky at first, but I actually like it. It kind of adds to the like weird futuristicness. Let's see. La Planète des Singes. Oh, is this like originally written in French or something? Okay, so it is based on a book. I would totally read this. It doesn't even look very long either. I'm reading, let's see, the first paperback. So it was published in like 1964. The something about sci-fi books from the 60s just hit different. And I can't believe they've done 9 films. So many films. Practical effects are so much better. That's what it is, because it's like the background, like in the movie, like just looks like so beautiful because it's not, I guess, like green screen CGI. It's practical, like you're saying, yeah. Maybe we could do movie night. Okay, so it is 5:26. I took off a little bit early off work just to get a walk in, get my stride. Now that I'm feeling better and stuff, but I still have a little bit of work to do, so I thought I could do some co-work, and then I just want to play Harry Potter like so bad. It's the only thing like making me want to enjoy life. But I'm trying to think of a good co-work playlist. I really do like that Camp Cryptid, and the episodes are short. They're like 30 minutes, so I feel like that would be a good amount of time for me to like use to just work like a little bit longer. Rod Sterling. Why does that name sound familiar? Rod Sterling. Oh, American screenwriter. Let's see. Notable works. The Twilight Zone. Oh, shit. That's pretty cool. Sci-fi mind. Let's see. What is a good episode? I'm gonna go to what is the very first Camp Cryptid? I always like to sort oldest to newest. NYCC. Horror. Haunted Boston. Let's listen to this episode. Haunted Boston. Serial killers and ghastly graveyards. Boston is not only historical city full of ghastly war events. I kind of want to listen to that one. Dun dun dun. Dun dun dun. Okay. Where's my cool little banner? I feel so pro with this banner. At the bottom. Let me update. Do you think man in the 1960s anticipated how much time we'd be spending at a desk? Like, seriously. Camp Cryptid, serial killers and ghastly graveyards. Okay. It was raining last night and it was so nice. I was like watching a movie, that Planet of the Apes, and there was like the waterfall scene, and I was like, wait, is this coming from the TV or is there rain falling from the sky? It was so pleasant. How the hell do you spell cryptid? Camp crypt. Cryptid. Cool. Slightly cloudy with a hint of villainy. Okay. I don't even have my headphones in, y'all. I don't know what accent this is. I'm the warden of these parts. I'm the warden of this cottage. Ooh, I like this music. Okay. Chicken. I only have one screen. You love my sweater. Thank you. Let me show you. I got it at H&M a long time ago. It's like says Dracula. I like all the like cool writing on it. I've had this sweater a long time. So thank you. Oh yeah, and there's some like detail on the arm too. Does this warden look like she means business? They should see the chain and know. Don't mess with me. I know, I love this like font. What is this kind of like old English, right? Ooh, I like this background. This kind of fits, kind of like spooky vibes. I can't wait for Halloween. Halloweeny. Okay. The vibe says Gothic font. Yes. Do y'all know what you want to be for Halloween yet? I really, really want to be Blue Beetle. Blue Beetle. I really want to be. I want to mix it up. I think there was something else I wanted to like throw into the mix too, though. Oh shoot! I found my hammer. The warden found her hammer. Okay, let's play the podcast. It's only like 30 minutes, and then after play some games. So I hope you enjoy the co-working if you have to like do any work right now or just want to relax and listen to this episode. Boston is not only a historical city full of ghastly war events, it is brimming with stories of serial killers and graveyards full of spectral beings. Join me this week as we discuss the areas of Boston that may be the most haunted and the events that led to Boston being one of the most haunted cities in the United Wait, I didn't know Boston was one of the most haunted cities in the United States. Every city says they're the most haunted city in the United States. Bye bloop bloop, see ya latte. Okay, let's listen. You're gonna be Esquileto? Which character is that? Was that the guy that like believes in science? Okay, yeah, it is. Who is that actor? Like, what happened to him? I'm looking it up right now. I thought he was gonna be a star. He was in Yo Gabba Gabba. Oh, apparently he was in Piranha 3 Double D. Nice. New Orleans? Yeah, New Orleans is pretty creepy. Yeah, every city's like, we're the most haunted city in the lower 48 states. Okay, I'm gonna play the episode now and get to work. Get to twerk. Tell me if I need to raise the volume up or anything.
Well, hey there, all you cool cryptids. Welcome back to another episode of Camp Cryptid. It's your host, Erica Fett, and I hope everyone had an amazing Halloween. Our last episode was the Halloween special, and for everybody who listened, thanks so much for joining me, nerding out over the creepiest cryptids and monsters that I think exist in the world.
Okay, sorry.
And
I wanted to
I hope
listen
your
myself
Halloween
to
was
see
fun.
if the volume was okay. No, it wasn't an easy day. I have like two major deadlines kind of coming up, so it's just like a lot to do. But at least it's not like hellish, but I just had to go over like setting deadlines for myself and stuff, so I just have a lot to get done. But I'm gonna get her done. It's only Tuesday. It's only Tuesday. And I want to order another pair of glasses because I accidentally threw my other favorite pair in the trash can. So I can't wait to get paid so I can do that. I.
Nothing but treats. So, this episode is going to be all about Haunted Boston. And I thought, what a better way
Haunted
than to
Boston.
keep the spooky season going in the fall than with an amazing episode all about a haunted city that I fell in love with on my last trip there. So this episode is all about the ghosts and legends of Boston. So I kicked off this season with a recap of my trip to Boston and Salem, and the first episode of this season was the Pirates and Witches of Salem, which I talked about in the episode. I never really put two and two together that pirates were in Salem, but it was a coast. So of course Boston has pirates too, which is super cool.
Pirate?
But that is also where I learned that, like I said, that was Salem was not only full of witches and a history full of witches, but of these notorious pirates, and I love that. But while in my on my trip to the East Coast, I spent some time in Boston, and I was walking around doing a lot of the tours of Boston. I did the Ghosts and Graveyards tour, which was incredible. We had a great time walking around Boston. Boston was a great city that has, it's very accessible, very easy to get around from place to place, especially all of the places along the Freedom Trail. And it was really cool just to walk around and explore the city. Of course, when you think of Boston, you think of the coastline, you think of all the Boston Tea Party and all that fun. So, of course, I had to do all the touristy things like go to the Boston Tea Party site. And I had to throw over the tea because, of course, why not, right? But while in my trip to Boston, I had some really fun experiences. I went to an amazing spooky bar called Hecate, and it is kind of like off in the middle of this alley in the middle of nowhere, and you have to like look for the symbol to find the place to go into to get into this bar. And everything was like a very like witchy themed. It was dark on the inside, lots of cool decor. It was just a really neat spot to go to in Boston, and I thought that I was like, what a better way than to kick off this like spooky tour of Boston and Salem than to go to this like witch themed bar. So yes, if you're listening and you are getting a trip to Boston or you're inspired to go, Hecate is very cool. They have a mean Bloody Mary, which I love me my tomato juice. So so I had a lot of fun in Salem, and so if you feel like listening all about my nerding out in over pirates and all the cool stuff that was along the way in Salem, make sure to check out the first episode. But this one is dedicated to Boston, and I really fell in love with Boston while I was there. Like I said, it was a super easy city to get around, which I absolutely loved. But being around the sea and smelling, the sea and just being around the coast was like it just sent me on a nautical kick. And now I want to be a captain, and I want to go sail the seven seas and become a pirate, a modern day pirate. But no, seriously, I fell in love with Boston, and it was such a fun time. And it was not only full of so much history, but there are so many urban legends and so many haunted spots around Boston that I had to go and explore them myself, right? So getting into Boston. Boston is a crazy city, and like before I had traveled there, I had like a notion of what Boston was from every type of like movie that revolved around Boston with like I don't know, like the town where Ben Affleck's like stealing money and it's like robbers and stuff. So I don't know what I was expecting, but I had a blast. I had an absolute blast, and it was really cool to walk around and see some of these historical landmarks that exist exists there. Boston is this huge site for the American Revolution. And, the Boston Tea Party is one of the things that pops into mind when you think of Boston. They do have a haunted tea party, not a haunted tea party, but they do have a tea party boat that you can actually throw over tea. Well, it's not real tea, but it's like the idea of throwing tea, which is still so fun. But it was a total missed opportunity to ask them if like they felt like it was haunted or anything, because you would assume that with the location of Boston, like a lot of the areas are pretty close to where all of these historical things happen. So you kind of wonder, ooh, is it haunted? So missed opportunity. So if anybody listening goes to the tea party, please go and ask, because I totally forgot to ask someone, but it's okay. Still a great time. But there are also many conflicts that happened surrounding Boston, whether it be conflicts surrounding the Native American tribes that were in the surrounding areas. There was a great molasses flood that happened in 1919, where a giant tank, I'm talking a giant, massive tank that was holding molasses, ended up bursting. And there are accounts that say that this molasses was traveling down the streets going like 30 miles an hour, which, if you think about it, how crazy is that? Because molasses is so sticky and it's so like, I can't imagine how scary that would have been to be in Boston on the streets at that time. And then there's just molasses coming at you like knee high, but the Great Molasses Flood of 1919 actually injured over 100 people, and it killed at least 20. And there were
Imagine
countless
dying
animals
like
that were
that. Oh
also
my God,
included
that's crazy.
with that. So it was a pretty freak accident on the streets of Boston. So you have Boston that's got like the Boston Massacre. You've got the Revolutionary War. And then you've got this molasses flood of 1919. And those are just a few of the
Molasses
things that
flood.
are like freak accidents around Boston. There's actually, if you would like to see the remembrance sign of the Great Molasses Flood around a cemetery called Copp's Hill, there's actually like a little plaque that is a remembrance sign for the Great Flood of 1919, of the Molasses Flood. So when you're taking your little trip of haunted Boston, make sure to check out that little. I saw that there was a sign after I went, and I was like, no. So hopefully, if you're listening and you plan a trip to Boston, you can see that little molasses flood. But I thought that was really crazy that, I never in a million years thought that that would be a thing, but it definitely was a thing that happened in Boston. So it's actually very sad. So Boston is not only a hub for war, but of a freak accident like that and epidemics. So epidemic wise, it also had its plague of serial killers. Boston had the giggler, which was a serial killer who would call, and every time he would give tips to the police, he would giggle on the phone as he gave the tips to the police on where to find the bodies. Or that was Kenneth Hansen, the giggler. The Boston Strangler is probably one of the most popular in Boston of all of the serial killers. And that happened in the 60s. The Boston Strangler claimed the lives of at least 11 victims, and they were all women. And this left the city in shock and terror as women were being assaulted and strangled. And for a while, there was no perpetrator in custody at all. So this was going on, and so many people were just terrified. They did find that Albert DeSalvo, he confessed to some of the murders, but there are some people who still to this day believe that he was not the killer of all of the women. But I know that there was like DNA stuff that DNA tests that were done that did conclude that DeSalvo was associated with at least one of the victims. So at least we have some closure on that. But the Boston Strangler was a terrible time to be in Boston. So, you've got these horrific events of war in the past, and now you've got, a serial killer that's just stalking the streets and making it so scary to be alone in the city. So Boston has definitely had its fair share of weird and spooky things that have happened. There's also the story of Jolly Jane Toppin, who was a serial killer in the late 1800s. And she was a nurse in Boston that had a normal job as a nurse, but found her way and found her love of torturing her victims, who were usually elderly and the extreme sick. And she would torture them by like injecting them with different medicines to kind of have her own weird research on how the effects would affect their bodies. She came to love killing and often like boasted after she was caught that she wanted to be the person who killed the most people. So I think that's very strange to be kind of like an angel of death. But she confessed to at least 31 victims. She would oftentimes target the sick that were in her care. She would target their families. She would often poison them. She started testing out different medicines with patients, like I said, and then when the effects would happen, she would draw them close to death and bring them back, and draw them close to death and bring them back, which is so sad and so scary to do to people. She was fired from the hospital and she became a private nurse. So after the hospital started being like, there's some weird things going on, like there's some charts messed with, there's a lot of people ending up dead on your shift, she was fired. But after she was fired, she just picked up her job as a private nurse. And as she would be a private nurse, she would oftentimes poison people's family members. And it was actually very sad that there were people that were, being poisoned that were not even like her patients. So this just really showed how dedicated she was to being that serial killer. Now, eventually, with all these random people ended up being poisoned around her, she was eventually caught by the police. So, Jolly Jane Toppin. So that's a crazy serial killer around Boston who was, I would say the angel of death. Probably one of the craziest serial killers in Boston is Jolly Jane Toppin. So now you have three really crazy serial killers also associated with Boston. So not only has Boston had to deal with war, they've had to deal with epidemics, they had to deal with a molasses flood. Now they have to deal with all these serial killers. So Boston has its fair share of spooky and eerie. And there are so many places in Boston that are supposedly haunted. So many. I'm telling you, I don't think that there was one place that I think I went to that didn't have some kind of a legend or lore about it. And I mean, that's great if you love to ghost hunt and you want to get your dose of like history and with spooky, Boston is the place, I'm telling you. So, to kick off the Haunted Boston episode, I thought what better way than to get spooky than by talking about the most haunted and spooky of all the graveyards in Boston. So there are so many areas in Boston that are haunted. The Boston Common is a beautiful park in the middle of Boston, and you'll see people, if you're going there during the day, you'll see people out at the park. There'll be parties going on. There'll be people walking their dogs, and it's this beautiful park in the middle of the city. However, many people think that this park is haunted. It's America's oldest park, but it's also the spot of Boston's public hangings back in the day.
Oh my God,
Now, these
that
public
place is
hangings
definitely
were
haunted.
criminals,
What?
people who were accused of witchcraft or notorious pirates that were caught. They would publicly hang and
Hey Charlie.
execute
Oh, hey
these people
Emily
in the
on
middle
Kick.
of the Boston
Sorry, I
Commons
just
on
saw
this
your
great
chat.
elm tree. It's also the spot for many mass graves over the years, whether it be the wars, epidemics. There are lots of spots where they've found digging around the area. They found bodies where they're like, we don't know what this grave is, but there's like 7 heads in here, so something had to have happened here. But it's also the location with the mass graves. It's also location for Boston Central Burial Ground, which is also supposedly a hotspot for activity of ghosts and apparitions because it was a spot for troops during the Revolutionary War. So you've got this area in the center part of Boston. This beautiful park. It's where they used to do public hangings. It's where there's mass graves. I mean, what more can you ask for when it comes to haunted activity? I mean, I'd have to say it's got to be haunted, right? It's got to be. So you've got this Boston Common that has this Boston Central Burial Ground. The Boston Central Burial Ground is not only the only haunted cemetery in Boston. There's also Copp's Hill. So when I talked about the Great Molasses Flood of 1919, that plaque is actually on the backside of one of the walls to Copp's Burial Ground. And Copp's Burial Ground is one of the oldest of the burial grounds. And it's also built higher on the surrounding streets, and it's surrounded by a wall. And that wall is actually what holds the plaque to the Great Molasses Flood. So you can kind of get 2 locations in one with this one. You can see the plaque of the Great Molasses Flood, and you get to visit Copp's Hill, which is supposedly a haunted graveyard. So we love that. But this is a haunted graveyard that's kind of built above the surrounding streets. A lot of the gravestones are kind of like sideways. They're halfway underground. Some are barely even showing, which is really crazy. They've got a lot of interesting gravestones in this cemetery, and it overlooks the sea, and it's actually a very beautiful spot, which is why the British decided to use it as a vantage spot during the Revolutionary War. Now, what's kind of neat about this spot is as you're touring the stones and the gravestones, you can see some of them are like halfway underground, but there's also one that is still standing, and it's actually pretty tall. It's like 2.5 feet tall, like 3 feet tall. But it's still got marks in it from when the British would shoot their guns at the gravestones. So you can still see some of the interesting little indentations from it today still. So while you're at Copp's Hill looking for ghosts, you can also look for those little dings in the gravestones where those pesky British are shooting at graves. But so you've got Copp's Hill, you've got the Boston Central Burial Ground. You also have the Granary Burial Ground. Now, this is also a very old and very haunted cemetery location in Boston. It's also the burial location of Sam Adams, Paul Revere, and Ben Franklin's parents. Well, you know, gotta put mom and dad in a cool haunted place, right? And it's also the burial location for John Hancock. So it's got a lot of notable people buried inside the grounds. Now, this is a very interesting graveyard because it is surrounded by a lot of buildings, and it does look very eerie. When I went to this graveyard, we were walking around, and I could definitely see how at night it would seem very spooky and very eerie, because it is a very eerie graveyard. You know, I maybe I've watched way too much like Da Vinci Code and way too much like Freemason stuff, but I like every time I see like a grave marker or anything in a graveyard that's like a triangle, I'm like Illuminati, secret society, like something's buried below that. Something's got to be below that, right? Well, here we go. So in 2009, a woman was walking through the Granary Burial Ground, right? And as she's walking, she falls into a like hidden pit that is like a hidden staircase that leads to an underground tomb. Okay.
What?
See,
That's crazy.
that just makes me think that everything has like underground tunnels, which a lot of places in Boston do have underground tunnels. So that's kind of spooky, but pretty cool. But I mean, I just need all these acts. So if you can give me access to these underground tunnels in Boston, I'm going back to Boston and we're doing an underground tour. But it leads to Granary Burial Ground being haunted, and it's got hidden tombs. Haunted and hidden tombs? Are you I'm here for it. So the Granary is also, not only does it have all these maybe hidden locations on the inside, it's also supposedly haunted by colonial spirits that can still be seen walking around in their colonial garments to this day. So we love that. So just around the corner from the Granary Burial Ground is going to be the King's Chapel Burial Ground. And this is a haunted cemetery that is the oldest cemetery, the oldest burial ground in Boston. Some of the earliest colonial settlers are buried in this burial ground. Now, this is also a place where people have said that there is a headless woman who roams the grounds.
Oh my god, I'm really scared of headless, anything headless.
Many
oh my
people
god.
were buried alive.
Maybe I shouldn't go to
during,
Boston.
Those times, and if you step across the ground at night, you may hear their screams coming
I'm such a
from
scaredy
below,
cat.
from being buried alive.
Oh
So
my
there's a
god.
lot of good lore when it comes to these very, very haunted cemeteries in Boston. Now, it also kind of brings up another thing with these people being buried alive. Being buried alive isn't something that was completely exclusive to the King's Chapel Burial Ground. People during the colonial times were being buried alive at all of these graveyards. And I wonder how many people really were buried alive during these times, and their bodies were never recovered. You have all of these people who potentially could have been buried alive too, that could be haunting these grounds, which I think is very terrifying when you think about it. But yeah, these are some of the coolest cemeteries I think I've seen. But yeah, so those are just 4 of the most haunted cemeteries in Boston. Now, Boston has a lot of cool cemeteries and a lot of cool places that are haunted. But these to me were some of the most notable of all of the haunted cemeteries in Boston, especially because they had some pretty cool little tidbits about them that I thought I had to talk about. So, the Boston Common, Copp's Hill, Greenery Burial Ground, and King's Chapel Burial Ground. Definitely go-tos if you want to go visit Boston. You want to go to some creepy cemeteries. Now, not only does Boston have, the history, haunted cemeteries, it also has 2 really cool haunted hotels. And I'm sure there are a ton of other haunted hotels and Airbnbs and bed and breakfast there in Boston. But the 2 that I wanted to talk about haunted Boston would be the Omni Parker House Hotel, which this is an older hotel. It's absolutely gorgeous on the inside, and it definitely looks the part of being haunted on the inside. But it has been getting complaints from being haunted since the 1940s. So guests have been complaining about seeing ghosts or hearing ghosts since the 1940s in this hotel. And it is honestly, it's a beautiful hotel. I'll definitely make sure to post on Reddit when I pull up this pictures of it. But it is absolutely beautiful. So definitely, if you're going to Boston, you need a place to stay. The Omni Parker House Hotel, real cool. But yeah, so guests have complained about seeing ghosts since the 1940s, but people say that the guests would hear whispers and they would get noise complaints, and then the staff would go and check on the noise complaint, and the room would be empty. But this has been going on for years there, and like I said, it looks the part of being haunted. So I'm gonna go with that. It's definitely probably haunted. But literally, only about a mile away is the Liberty Hotel, and the Liberty Hotel is very interesting. It is supposedly haunted, and it used to be a prison. So, a hotel that used to be a prison. I don't know what about that screams haunted, but I'm gonna go with that. It's haunted. But so it was the Charles Street Jail. At one point, and the Charles Street Jail was completed in 1851, and it served as a prison until it suffered from overcrowding and eventually was shut down in 1990. Basically, you've got this building that was at one point a jail, and it suffered from overcrowding. And not only was it shut down, it was shut down because a lot of the inmates were complaining about the cruel and unusual punishment and the horrible ways that they were treated on the inside of the jail. So you can only imagine what kind of spirits may still be lurking the halls of the Liberty Hotel. Now, the Liberty Hotel is beautiful on the inside. I will say you can 100% tell it was a jail at one point. Like they did not hide that. They still used like the steel bars. I'm pretty sure some of the windows still have like the bars on them as well. And you can definitely tell that it has been renovated but was a jail. I'll make sure to post pictures in the Reddit, but it's definitely an interesting looking hotel on the inside, and it's definitely a place that I would probably
I'm
go
gonna post a picture
to
on
see.
Discord.
Like I said, the Liberty Hotel and the Omni Parker House are only a mile away from each other. So if you wanted to do like a 2-day weekend trip and stay at the Omni on one night and then the Liberty Hotel on the other, it'd be a perfect little haunted vacation. But the Liberty Hotel, 100%. You can tell it was 100% a jail. Like there's no amount of renovating that they did that would hide that. So, but they just own it. And I mean, maybe that's what leads to it kind of like having those hauntings still to this day, because it still does look a lot like a jail. So yeah, the Liberty Hotel is beautiful, but also is definitely probably haunted. So but I mean, like I said, there's probably tons of places that you can stay that are haunted in Boston. I just wanted to pull those to the Liberty and the Omni House, or the Omni Parker House, because they looked really cool. And they both had a very interesting history. And I thought, well, what better places to stay than these 2 creepy looking hotels that are very unique on the inside as well. So but Boston is so scenic. There's so much to do there. There's so much to see there. Like I said, I did the Ghosts and Graveyards tour while there, and I would highly recommend that if you want to get like a dose of like your fun, campy tour of haunted Boston. It goes through everything, and it's a very fun time, especially if it's beautiful there, because then you can just go enjoy the city afterwards. they have filmed so many things in Boston, and that was another thing. I was like trying to go through when I was going there and walking around. I was like, oh, what all was filmed here? Like is there anything crazy cool? And then I realized, wow, there is an island off the coast of the Boston Harbor called Long Island that is the inspiration for Shutter Island. So in my first episode about my trip to Salem, I actually took a ferry from Boston to Salem, and we went by this Long Island. And let me tell you, it looks the part of being creepy. It's got like this giant hospital old facility on it. It looks super spooky. It just looks the part. And then you find out, okay, well, the novel Shutter Island was based off of this, so it's got to be something kind of weird and creepy, right? It definitely is. And then right across from that is George's Island, which is also supposedly haunted. George's Island is also where Fort Warren is, and Fort Warren is a fort that was used, and it definitely resembles the shape of a pentagram. So there's that. You add in haunted stuff and you say, okay, well, it also is shaped like a pentagram. So yeah, it's cool. But it was used as many things over the years, not only as a fort, but over the years, many tourists have claimed to see dark shadows and figures around the area.
Dark shadows.
And I mean, if you Google the looks of Fort Warren, you'll be like, okay, yeah, I can see why people were thinking it was haunted or they're seeing things, because it definitely has a very menacing look to the walls. But yeah, so George's Island and Long Island are both little islands off the coast of Boston Harbor who have some spooky little tidbits about them. So I thought I'd throw them in today too, to kind of round off our haunted Boston episode. Because I mean, Boston's full of serial killers. It's full of haunted graveyards. It's full of areas that were like the Boston Massacre. So you can go to those areas, and like Salem, Boston has like a little, almost like a guided trail that you can follow that's along the sidewalks where it's painted, where you can just follow this little trail from place to place along Boston, and you can go to these sites and see that they're actually very close to each other.
These episodes go by fast. Like, the episode's already almost done. Yeah, I feel way better. Like, 80% better. Thank you. The only thing is, it's just like slight congestion. I feel like my throat, um, like is a little bit irritated, but yeah, I'm pretty much back to normal. So, and the weather is so nice outside. I was thinking like I need to start going skating outside again. So I'm gonna try to go trail skate this weekend or something. But it feels like such a relief. Being sick like is the worst shit. I do like this podcast. I like the way she's talking. I feel like she's sitting across from me and we're having like a conversation. Camp cryptid.
So thinking about Boston being haunted all over is not that it's not that far from reality, because a lot of these spots, they're all very close to each other. So you kind of get this whole overall feeling that Boston is just this hub for like spooky spiritual activity. Which is why, if you go to Boston, you got to go do the Ghosts and Graveyards tour. You got to go explore all of these creepy graveyards and take pictures for yourself. And that way you can post them if you see anything cool. We all need to get on the ground. We got to do our research, okay? And then you got to go stay at the Omni Parker House Hotel and then the Liberty Hotel. But yeah, there's so many cool things in Boston. I had such a good time in Boston. It was really fun to just see the history, to throw my tea overboard on the little ships there at the Boston Tea Party Museum, and to really just kind of dive into the haunted history of Boston. I honestly feel like I could do another trip to Boston and probably dive into so many more other things, because there just is so much history with Boston, and there's so many spooky things that happen there that, like, me talking about these things today is just like the tip of the iceberg when it comes to Boston, which I think is really, really, really cool to do another episode on it. But it's such a cool city, and I hope that if you're listening, it inspires you to go to Boston and do your own little haunted tour, and really dive into the history of this little haunted seaside town. But yeah, I loved it. I would go back in a heartbeat, and I want to go back to Salem. I want to go eat all the seafood. and I just want to go explore all these creepy graveyards and hopefully not fall in a grave because that would be, listen, I would be terrified if that happened because I just imagine like where you fall in and there's like bones all around. Oh, I can't do it. I can't do it. But it does add some pretty cool history to some of these creepy graveyards, and maybe there's more than meets the eye, which is really cool too, though. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed my little intro to haunted Boston. There's so much here when it comes to Boston.
Okay.
Like I said,
80% is better than 70, definitely. Because 70, you're still like on the mend. 80%, you're like, sometimes 80% is even like a normal day. Normal day. Ay, ay, ay. I finished work, what I was working on, but there's one more other task I kind of want to start on. Let's see. What else is Camp Cryptid about? Let's see. Scottish and English ghost stories. Let's start that one. Oh, wait, no. Haunted Chicago hotels, Mexican. Okay, I saw Mexican demons. At first I thought it was like Mexico. Did she have like a haunted Mexico episode? That'd be kind of cool. Let's. Oh wow, this podcast is fairly new. Started in September 2023. Dang. Let's start just the next one, Scottish and English ghost stories. I like this synth music. Do I look Mexican? What do you think? I'm curious.
hey there, campers! Thanks again.
I actually get asked if I'm like other things more than. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I am. But I was just curious because a lot of people come on chat and they ask me if I'm Arabic. And I get that a lot. People ask me if I'm Arabic. People ask me if I'm Arabic more than they ask me if I'm like Latina, Hispanic, whichever term you want to use. Which I think is interesting. Very interesting. But yeah. I'm a Latina baddie. At first I didn't really see it, but I guess I can kind of see what they're saying. Yeah, I get asked if I'm like Arabic or like Middle Eastern, like it's mainly honestly Arabic or Lebanese. I get asked that a lot. What flavor? Bland. I'm like Mexican and Spanish, so I feel like my family they are a lot. There's a lot of Spanish, so does that make me watered down? I don't know. On my mom's side, yeah, on my mom's side, like my maternal grandmother, like they're from Mexico. And on my dad's side, they're from Spain. So it's like Spain. Un poquito, más o menos. Do you? You can see it. I can kind of see it, yeah. I don't know what it is, though. I think it's the eyebrows. I think it's the eyebrows. You don't? Wait, are you Hispanic, Jumpfire? I want to work on my Spanish. Hey, actually, there's this podcast that's like in Spanish that I used to listen to try to work on my Spanish. It's like first they like tell, it's like by Duolingo, I think. It's like first they like kind of say like an intro story in English and then a speaker like tells their story in Spanish. So cuz since it already gives like background information, it's supposed to kind of like help you recognize some of the words in Spanish. Oh, what are you? What flavor are you? How spicy. Spicy. Ooh, the best of holiday horror movies. I'm gonna just play this episode. It's only 26 minutes.
Joining us for another episode of Camp Cryptid. I am your host, Erica Fett, and today I'm joined for our Thanksgiving episode by a very, very special friend of mine, Fraser Much. And you guys might know him
Are you Polish?
as Elite Online Mag on social media, Instagram, a lot of spooky stuff. So yeah, so I would say one of the more recent trips that we made was Miami, and although it's not full of a lot of spooky stuff, I would say the airport is a horror show in itself. So that is
that's the scariest thing I've ever done in my life.
Yeah, but aside from that, we've done some really cool spooky things together. So last month, Neptune was on, and we talked about our spooky experience that we had in Edinburgh, and that was a trip that we'd actually taken with Fraze. So.
Yeah, it was. I didn't even know about all of the spooky things that happened until like 6 months later when you told me, and I was like, "What?" I was like, "I would have." Lucky enough, I wasn't staying in the same place. We were in a different Airbnb.
Yeah.
But I don't think I would have been as happy to stay as long after that. Yeah, it was crazy.
And then, so we did that, and that was really crazy because I feel like we've gone to Edinburgh a couple times now together. I feel like
twice.
Yeah, so it's like all these spooky trips. And then we went to a dinner theater at a castle one time.
Oh yes, that was in Durham. So that's where a lot of Harry Potter was filmed, etc.
Yeah.
So we went to a medieval banquet.
Yes.
We had like pork off the bone and things like that. It was
a proper medieval times,
it was
like
crazy.
really.
And they were jousting and battling inside a castle. It was pretty cool.
It
was
really
pretty cool.
was like the coolest.
We had
like,
to pass down with dinners, like school kind of thing, like slide them down a table of like 50 people. So it was
and
crazy.
there was like the medieval music, and it was just, honestly, I was like, I know this place is haunted. I just know it.
100% is that place.
And then
Lumley Castle, that's what it's called.
Okay, see, there we go.
I've been trying to think of it for 3 days, and I finally hey, I'm a big game player.
No, I love it. See, there we go. So Lumley Castle, and they do this cute little show. We did that together, and then when actually Neptune and I visited previously to Newcastle, you took us to the castle there, which is really cool and very spooky.
Yeah, it's much smaller though, because I think the Newcastle Castle. That sounds weird. Is kind of like just a small part of it now, almost the gate, and it's called the Black Gate.
Yeah.
And it's the bit of the prison that's left.
Yeah.
So it's quite deep, and it's basically just prison cells, and then there's a loose wall that goes around the city. So yeah, there's a lot of haunted bits and bobs in Newcastle for sure.
Yeah, it's like when you go to England, you like know, because like America, we have like Salem, like some cool things like that, but we don't really have like castles, you know? And so that's one of the things we've gotten to do together are a ton of castles. We've gone to Edinburgh together. I mean, I would say Neptune, we've all gone to like so many castles together. So I think that that's been like a really cool thing that we've kind of done on the site of shooting.
Yes,
so,
for sure, yeah.
So that's been really cool. Now, speaking of creepy places, I know that you have traveled all over, but you've been to Loch Ness, and that's kind of like my thing. Like, I'm obsessed with Nessie. So what was that like? What did you get like vibes or like?
I mean, I'm not as like full on, like I'm a bit more skeptical, but I did get vibes for sure. I mean, it's because it's so vast.
Yeah. And
it's supposed to, with Loch Ness, they say that it's like. So there's like, I don't even know how many, there's a lot of lochs or lakes.
Yeah.
That's what everywhere else in the world calls them, other than Scotland.
I think loch sounds cooler though.
I'm not gonna lie, it does. Yeah. All the other lochs combined is the same amount of water as Loch Ness.
Yeah.
So that's how deep it is. And they think that there are areas that flow out into the North Sea.
Computer, I'm praying it doesn't freeze.
Like you might just go on a little
no, I've never done my ancestry.
Yeah.
I've never done my ancestry. I don't want to send my blood in because we all know I'm like perfect human specimen, so I don't want them to like clone me. But on my dad's side, they actually have a really, really extensive family tree. Like, my grandpa has it in his office. They have it traced all the way basically back from when they came from Spain to America. Oh, I think I'm thinking of the DNA thing. Yeah, I don't want to send my DNA in. And I just don't want these companies knowing, like, information about me. I don't know. Am I paranoid? That's also kind of why I don't like SeaWorld. I don't like how SeaWorld takes your fingerprints. Like, why do you need my fingerprints? SeaWorld. I know, I feel like it's inaccurate too. Wait, is my ancestry the same as Ancestry? Yeah, SeaWorld does that. Or like the last time I went, it was like when you're making your membership, they like need your thumbprint or whatever. I was like, you better not be trying to frame me for something. Blackfin, blackfish. But I haven't done it. My ancestry is run by the church. And I should trust them because I don't trust any of them. I heard that 23andMe was like running out of business. Or something like that because people mainly just use the service like one time. Yeah, I haven't been to SeaWorld in I think the last time it was for some Halloween thing. Because they have like haunted houses and stuff. I want to go to Six Flags so bad. I haven't been on a roller coaster in so long. And I feel like there's new roller coasters. The Rattler is like the scariest roller coaster. And that's because it literally looks like it's gonna break at any moment. Well, that's cool that they have those extensive records on everybody but me. Because I'm not sending shit to them. The Rattler was your first roller coaster? I think my first roller coaster was probably its more childish neighbor, the Roadrunner. The government doesn't even have record on me. I don't even have a social security. Andy's not even my name. One day I went through like the local obituaries and I found this name that just said Andy, so I just like took it. Took that identity. I'm not even from this world. I descended from Mount Olympus. I had to do what I had to do to get an identity. So I'm not gonna have them catch me by trying to find my ancestry records.
But yeah, when you go there, it's very like.
Did you hear that? The thing was like breaking up.
I'll be honest, it's always quite a gloomy place, but it's beautiful. Like
Yeah.
it's green. The water's super blue.
Super blue.
Yeah, it's just it. I think it's the vastness of it. I think that's where you get the vibes from it.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like almost being in the sea.
Yeah.
That's how big the loch can be. So
The loch.
I didn't do the whole boat going out.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't get anyone else to do it. But
oh
mainly 'cause
shit!
it was so cold because it was like December when I went.
Oh god. Hold on, I got a chat on
like,
YouTube. Sorry, I just saw it. I don't know why this YouTube chat isn't working on here. Hold on, let me add it. Hi Jeffrey, if you're still here. Reply. Hey Jeffrey, sorry. I'm still getting used to keeping up with these different chats. How do I add this chat? Okay, let's see. Jeffrey. Yo, Jeffrey Grissom is my dear friend. Okay. Custom browser doc. Let me add YouTube back. Okay, cool. Now I can see it. And I can send hearts and 100s. Yeah, like I was frozen years ago, like Aang from Avatar. I'm hungry. I had Chick-fil-A earlier, but that was all. I want something else.
Like 0 degrees at all times. I mean, I know you get that here for sure, but
Yeah, but I mean, it's cold. Yeah, it's still cold.
it's
Yeah.
the wind that
Yeah.
we get, and that's when it feels like
Yeah.
minus whatever degrees. But yeah, it's you go all the little pubs around the area. There's like 2 little pubs in a hotel. I mean, I say a hotel, it's basically just like a pub with rooms.
Oh, I love it though.
Because everything in England and Scotland is a pub. And you kind of like, yeah, they have all the stories. You can ask them for days.
Oh my God,
They've
I
got
love
all the, I'd say literature, but it's not really literature. It's just people drawing things like,
Yeah.
and they've just got old guys that have probably lived there for like their entire life.
They just embrace it.
They'll tell you everything. It's kind of like The Witcher, where they have all these fables and like the guy playing the little thing in the corner. It's very much like that. I'm honest.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really cool. Like it's
I
really
love
cool.
that. You know, the gloominess probably adds
It
to
100%
it. Like
does.
you go there and you're like everything is like so picturesque because it's just
Yeah.
already set up for like the perfect like.
Well, there's always people in there like diving. There's
Yeah.
always teams diving,
Yeah.
looking for anything
Yeah.
they can. But I know it does cost a lot
Yeah.
to do. But I know we mentioned that. I said that there's a charity thing that you can possibly do where
Yes.
if you raise money for charity, you can dive into
Yes.
Loch Ness. I think you've got to raise a lot of money, so hopefully.
That's my goal because.
Hopefully the campus will help there. And we'll get a live episode.
So that's my goal. Is I told him like I want to do diving. I want to get diving certified because it's always been my dream to like I don't know like just dive in cool places.
Yeah.
And what better place than to do it than Loch Ness to like do? But then he told me about this charity, so I'll have to find the information for the
Yeah,
charity
I'll
and
try
put it
and
up for
find that for
everybody.
sure.
So in case you know someone who wants to dive or is diving, you guys can check it out. But that's
Yeah.
cool as shit.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. God,
Yeah.
I'm doing well. I haven't swore yet. That's such a weird thing for me, isn't it? Being from Newcastle.
Yeah.
I was just
Yeah.
thinking. But no, so but I've got some more spooky stories from Newcastle as well, because we have a lot of witches have died in Newcastle. It was one of those very similar to Salem in the
Yeah.
way that we had people hung for being witches, and there is a escape room based off the witches called the Hangman. And
Oh,
you've got an
man.
hour to get out before you get the guy comes in, and there's a literal guy that does come and
No!
scare the crap out of you. But when you look outside the window, you will find 3 or 4 graves of the witches that they said. So they're literally just there. They're almost like bumps in the ground. It's so crazy because you can like it's just on the street.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, so we do have bits in Newcastle as well, but whether they're not I don't think there's as much as Scotland, I must admit. I think
Yeah.
Scotland's got a lot more.
Yeah, I just imagine with the escape room, it's like you know the Goosebumps Tower of Terror episode where he's like the executioner coming in, like.
Oh,
Oh my God,
does.
that
You-
episode
there's
gave me the
also another one
creeps.
called
The
Plague
Tower of
Doctor,
Terror.
and there's a bit where, spoilers, you'll probably never go to Newcastle.
Just in case.
But there's a bit where you're opening things just to find stuff out, and then you
Yeah.
open a bit, and then pops his head out with his big mask on
No.
and scares the hell out of you. Like, I remember I did it with our mutual friend Kesha, and she just did an expletive that I've never heard her shout that loud in my life. It just zoomed past us like a cat doing zoomies. It was hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I didn't even see it. I just heard it in my peripheral, and I was just like, "What happened? What happened?" And she was like, "Someone scared the hell out of us." Blah, blah, blah. I was like, "Really? Like, no one's in here." And yeah.
Yeah.
So, but they take a photo of you when it happens as well.
Oh
so
my-
So you get like a little video kind of thing, which is really cool. Yeah.
It's like a roller coaster when you're like going down the hill and they have the photographs and that's amazing.
It's 100%. I think they do it so they can put it on the website for like extra good ones.
Oh,
But I
love
think
that.
Kesha was on the verge of punching him, so yeah. So yeah.
I love that. So you said like Scottish. Do you have any like good Scottish tales that you think are like that stuck with you or?
I mean, half of my family are the size of Bigfoot, I suppose. So
That's a thing.
yeah, I mean, I'm 6'3", and I'm one of the smaller ones in the family. So,
Oh my God, what's that like?
my brother's smaller than me, so ask him, I suppose. But yeah, like 6'7", 6'8", a lot. Some of
Wow.
them, yeah. So
Yeah.
But yeah, spooky stories. I mean, I'm a bit of a scaredy cat, so I'll probably try to avoid them like the plague, if
Yeah.
I'm honest. Trying trying to think what we got. Up north, where me gran and granddad used to live, in a place called Forfar, is kind of like a really older place. Like a lot of old people live there, and you do get a lot of spooky vibes there. If I'm honest,
Yeah.
I've never heard of anything specific, but it's a very like eerie place. Like you
Yeah.
almost see like the tumbleweed esque kind of things going on. Like
Yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's not a desert or anything. It's just normal
Yeah.
streets, but you get that feeling that. Well, probably because a lot of people die there, because it's like a retirement village. So,
Oh, well.
so
Bless,
you probably do
yeah.
get a lot of spirits around there. But yeah, not so much because, as I say, I do try to avoid it. Like I'm not as
Yeah.
brave as you.
No.
Whereas, although I did, like the previous episode, I did go in the catacombs with you guys.
Yes.
And it was one thing you didn't mention is it was the last one. It was the midnight showing, wasn't it, that we went to?
Yes.
So they have them all through the day.
Yes.
And we did the last showing where every little room you go to, they blow a candle out. Well, one of you has to blow the candle out.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So our previous episode where we were talking about our
Yeah.
trip to Edinburgh, where we had like the weird thing where Neptune and we were all at, we went through the underground that caught on fire in Edinburgh from basically like the conditions of the time basically just made it horrible, and because of the conditions, the entire underground city where a lot of the I would say like the lower class lived
100%, yeah.
were killed due to fires. And so it happened a couple times in Edinburgh. So that's why Edinburgh is very spooky, because it has so many like grisly, sad, tragic events that happened. And that sadness and those feelings, I feel like, and those emotions kind of linger there on the streets and underground. But we did the night walk at midnight through the catacomb, and I completely forgot about that.
Because one of you has to do it as well.
Yeah.
So like literally, it's already dark, because you can imagine. It's basically like being in a Saw film.
Yes.
Like it is. It's like you're almost in a dungeon, because that's where they lived. They lived in just brick walls.
Yeah.
And the crazy
There's
thing.
no light. There's nothing.
So it gets darker
and it's just
and
tunnels.
darker and darker
Yes.
and until the last bit.
I think I have pictures I'll have to post from where I was like
Yeah.
going through, and I was trying to be a little brave and like go when people were trying to move on. I would like go to the room and take a snap and like hope to like see something.
I would totally recommend anyone going there.
Yes.
Because they do say Edinburgh is possibly the most haunted city. I don't know how
in the world.
I don't know how they can determine that, but it's going to certainly be one of them.
Yeah, well, maybe because it has the most like tragic mass events between wars, the plagues, the tragic fires.
Well, without even the whole the fires. I mean, one of the things of the tunnels was that there was one end of the tunnels was the cemetery, and then there was the college.
I'm done.
So
Yeah.
they used to body snatch a lot.
Oh, and Greyfriars Kirk.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay, I'm done. That episode, they were just having a conversation. I thought they were gonna like say more stories, but well, still easy listening. Now, some lo-fi. While I gear up for Hogwarts Legacy. Starting to feel hungry again. I think I have some leftover brisket from my dad. Dun, dun. Do you change your desktop wallpaper with the seasons, or you just leave it? They were I know, I was thinking, I was like, are they together? Is this her man? But it's a fairly new podcast, so I think she's still getting in her zone. Having a podcast seems stressful because I feel like you're just talking the whole time and then you have to edit it and just listen to you talking the whole time. Okay. Gonna play some Hogwarts. Yes. Here we go. Here we go. Wallpaper on your computer with the seasons. I do. I look forward to doing that. I do pretty seasonally. I change my computer, my work computer, my phone, and I kind of slack with my iPad because I don't use it as much. But yeah, I actually love doing that stuff. Yay. Sorry, I wanted to see about making the text pad smaller, but here we are, Ports Key Games. Hi, Charlie. Hi, Fry. Hello, beautiful. Aw, you're so sweet. Thank you. You know, when you're sick, you don't feel yourself. So I haven't been feeling very cute. So thank you, Fry. How's your day? If it's dynamic, like, does the wallpaper move? I've been seeing these things where people have like a wallpaper that they can customize, like with widgets where they put their like calendar and stuff. I feel like that looks pretty cool. I am blushing. Yo, I haven't been on a date in a long time, so the compliments, keep them coming. I've been sick since like last Monday, yeah. Not fun. You know what? The part that sucks the most, it's like when you're sick, like, and you have a fever and it's so uncomfortable, like you can't even like get the proper sleep. You know what? I had an Android for the longest time, and the reason I didn't want to switch was because I could have a dynamic wallpaper that like moved, and that was like kept me off iPhone for a while. But then I saw honestly, once Apple got that technology where you could add widgets on your home screen, I was sold. I made the switch. Okay, do I want to continue being evil? Let's go. Ooh. I like the idea of local honey. Did you know like local honey helps you with allergens? Wait, where am I at in the game? Oh, I need to go to Crosswands. I'm gonna continue with the main story quests. I love the Slytherin common rooms.
I performed a knee reversal head over safely. It was an utter triumph.
4 months with Goddess.
Hey, little delish, little deep dish. What's up? Thank you for subscribing. How have you been? How have you been? Dun dun dun. You were sick too? Oh my god, what'd you have? Was it like the flu? I'm gonna see if I can copy emojis in here. I can. Can you see your name? Barely, right? I try to add a pizza emoji, but it's just like a square. Maybe I can find a more simple pizza. Pizza, pizza! I don't think I can. I'll have to settle with a heart. But we know it's a pizza. Andy eating pizza emoji, that'd actually be really cute. I need to get some emojis. And some animated ones. What do you mean off-worthy? Do you recommend the switch from Android to iPhone? My phone is 3 years old. I think if you have an Android and it works well, just keep it. I wanted an iPad. It was like I wanted an iPhone. It was a slippery slope. First I got an iPad and I was like, actually this looks really sleek. And I had a MacBook before for work and I was like, I really like how this looks. So let me just get an iPhone. Sometimes I miss my Android. I really want to try look at that random square in my glasses. Cyborg guy. I really want to try a Google Pixel. I heard that those have a good camera. How is that off-worthy? Me eating pizza. Make me a pizza, please. Actually, you know what? I make a pretty good pizza. You have a Pixel, recommend? See, because that's the one thing too. When I had an Android, everybody was always roasting me for the pixels, looking for the pixelated picture and video. But I feel like Google Pixel is like the one like competitor with iPhone for like clear pictures. But it sucks because on Android, like you take a picture, like it looks great on your phone. It's just when you upload it, it looks like Windows 98. Yeah, with the updates. Everyone around the world uses Android. Yeah, one time my dad was working like overseas and his phone like wasn't working, so he just had to like buy a phone. So he like bought like this random cheap phone overseas and it was like a Android and I think it only cost like $50, but it looked like a regular, like, what do they call them, like the Galaxy Notes or whatever. I was like, dang. Who's that walking with the books?
No one likes a coxcomb.
What did he say? No one likes a what? It sounded like he said something bad. Oh wait, I think I went up the wrong way. Wait.
Rumor has it there's an abandoned manor near
There's
Bargain Time.
something in there. I just know it.
How do I get to Professor Fig's office? I don't understand this map. I'm looking at the mini map. Okay, it says go up here. Go up these stairs. Oh. This is the herbology area? Or no, this is just a courtyard.
Revelio.
Hippogriff. I thought there would be... I want all the field guide pages. I like found a YouTube video that shows like where all the field guide pages are in Hogwarts, and the video is a damn hour long. I was like, holy shit. Dude, my original character, I'm like, how do they still have a nose? Because I thought every time you killed somebody, it creates a Horcrux. Like, I've killed so many people. Unalived, as I should say. But yeah, this character is gonna be completely evil. Look, her name's Alice Gallows. Her haircut's cool. She has like a scar on her face. And then she has this like cape with skulls on it because she sends people to the gallows. She comes from a long line of executioners. She's ruthless. Wait for Professor Fig.
Professor, I'm glad to see you.
And I you. Thank Merlin you're in one piece.
Thank
I heard
Merlin.
about the attack. Trolls in Hogsmeade?
Sir, the trolls were wearing armor. It had that dark glow, like the dragon collar.
Goblin silver. Ranrock used it to control the dragon. But how? And why send trolls to...
They were there because of me. I overheard Ranrock talking with Victor Rookwood.
Ranrock was in Hogsmeade with Rookwood.
The trolls were Ranrock's distraction so that Rookwood could get to me, and he would have, had Serona and the patrons of the Three Broomsticks not intervened.
This is grave news indeed. If Ranrock's goblins and dark wizards are after you, they want what we found in that vault.
She is pale. She is pale. I try to make her like the most palest of pale.
They're after the locket. You said you discovered something in it.
Yes. I discovered an inscription. When I read it aloud, this map appeared. Clever enchantment. It's a map of Hogwarts, to be sure, but I do not know where it leads.
It leads to the library. The restricted section, to be precise. And a bit beyond. I see traces of magic there on the map.
I suspected you would see something.
Shall we go?
I appreciate your
I wonder
enthusiasm,
is anybody
and I'm
jealous
eager
of
to
me because I'm the
discover
only
what
one
we
that
may
can see
find there
ancient
as
magic.
well. But if our experience at Gringotts, let alone what
I was
happened at
actually saying that
Miracle,
earlier,
taught me
Fry. I
anything,
think this weekend I want to try to
it's
go
that
on a
the
skate.
path we're on is terribly dangerous. I'd like you to work with Professor Hecat a bit.
Because I haven't
before we
skated,
continue.
honestly, in
But, sir,
months. It's really
how
crazy,
dangerous
like
could
3
the
months.
library be? Perhaps
But
Ranrock
now
will
it's like good weather
Perhaps we
outside,
are
so I'm
in
going to
the
try to
Arcade
do
book,
like a trail
but we should be
skate.
prepared for anything. Once you've honed your defensive magic further, come and see me. I'll let
It's been
Professor
so
Hecat know to
long.
expect you.
I tried rollerblades a while ago. Dude, rollerblades are hard. I don't think I will ever get into rollerblading. I feel way more stable on skates. And skates are cooler too. Excuse me, Professor Fig. Wait, what is this task I have to do? Secrets of the... Why is this locked? Okay. I actually don't really tan. Like, when I do go skate outside, well, it's really hot, so I have to wear shorts, but I put, like, sunscreen everywhere. But my body, I have, like, sunscreen everywhere, my UV sleeves, and sunglasses, and a hat. I used to, like, tan, like, just lay out by the pool and stuff, but I don't really do that anymore. Like, if I go outside, I'm protected. It's kind of crazy when everybody thinks you're like silly because it's like hot out and you have like long sleeves on, but that's the best protection. Clothing.
If only a new student were to help me with.
I see all these side quests. Is she gonna teach me Confringo? I saw a field guide page.
I believe we have some to discuss.
Hydrate, hydrate. Do I look pale though? Sometimes I worry if like my anti-sun measures might make me look pale. I do like swimming though. So I guess I'll get a tan from swimming, but I try not to have unnecessary
Professor
sun.
Fig indicated a certain
Glowing?
urgency to you completing your defensive magic assignments.
I do be
As
taking care of my
such,
skin.
You are to learn Incendio, the fire-making spell, handy for lighting torches, burning away spider webs, and, when necessary, defending against those who would wish to do us harm.
Sounds versatile.
Sounds
But
versatile.
before we get started, I'd like you to complete a few tasks. You may be surprised by some of them.
I'll drop
Astonishing
it.
how much students don't think their professors know.
It's pretty easy.
When
Honestly,
finished,
in the morning,
come
I
see
just rinse my
Then we
face
shall
with
begin working
water,
on Incendio.
put in sunscreen, put on sunscreen.
where to
If I'm
find
being
me once you've
extra,
finished.
I might put on like... Oh, okay, most of the time in the morning, honestly, I just need to like rinse my face with water and put on sunscreen. But if I'm being like extra or if my like skin is dry, mainly in the winter, I'll like rinse with water. I'll put on like either rose water or snail mucin and then vitamin C and then sunscreen. So sometimes like if I have extra time, I'll do all that. And then at night, I just like use an oil cleanser, and then a regular cleanser so I can like double cleanse. And then I just put on like a retinol and then moisturizer. So it's pretty simple. It's just, that's like 4 products. The main thing you need is a good face wash, a sunscreen, a moisturizer, and then an active that you use some nights. Mine is retinol. Snail mucin, yeah, it's the snail slug excrement from snails. It's supposed to like be good for your skin. Oh, does she want me to use this? But
Seems crossed ones isn't as secret as it's believed to be.
But honestly, the snail mucin stuff, I haven't really noticed like much a difference. It's just supposed to like just be good for your skin. Well, maybe I just haven't noticed much difference because I use other products, but I just like to use it to like moisturize. So like say if I like my skin's kind of dry, then I'll put the snail mucin on before like my sunscreen or whatever. But the most like important active ingredients are vitamin C and retinol. That girl wants me to help her so bad. Every time I walk by, I can hear. I'm gonna help her. I need to do this main quest. I've been slacking on my vitamin C though. My serum oxidized, so I need to buy a new serum. So that's been why I'm doing it. Yeah, definitely internal stuff. Water is like the best thing for your skin. I notice too when I'm like not drinking a lot of water, my forehead, like I can see like little lines and shit, and it like freaks me out. Oh my god, that shit scared me.
Oh, not again!
But when I am drinking a lot of water, the lines go away.
Revelio.
Oh yeah. My favorite thing to do though is like put on that rose water with glycerin because it like smells good. It makes me feel like luxurious, so I like putting.
Glad you could make it. Lucan's just over there.
So I like putting that on and then putting hyaluronic acid. Here we are. Yeah, seriously, SpongeBob effect. Seriously, if you're dehydrated from the inside, you will tell on the outside. Is this locked? Can I go in this room? Can I go in here? Oh shoot, I never knew I could go in here. It says there's a chest.
Levioso.
Flex. I have no muscles right now. All the muscles in my arms have disappeared. I need to go to the gym.
Can I help you?
Are you gonna redeem blow a kiss?
Sebastian told me to see you about a club.
If Sebastian vouches for you, that's all I need to know. I coordinate duels for crossed ones.
Hold on, I need to blow my nose.
It's invitation only, so you must have really impressed Sebastian.
You remember when you were with the coach passing out? Oh my god. That's insane. I want to donate plasma because I heard that it's a good way to get rid of microplastics in your body. I don't know like how scientifically backed that is. But the last time I donated blood I fainted, so I don't know if I think I need to find another way to get rid of microplastics. I feel like I have no muscles. It's all fat. On my legs, like my legs used to be they used to be thick with muscle. Now they're just thick. But I don't mind because they still look nice. But I used to have like my arms and my shoulders be really toned, so I'm trying to get back to that. What were you just like approximately when that happened? Were you like y'all outside like running? Do you remember when they used to be like orange code days when like the air quality outside was like really bad? Couldn't go outside.
I seem to have a knack for dueling.
Then you've come to the right place.
How does crossed ones work exactly?
You show up.
If you
I
say
match
I'm
you with other
swole,
duelists, and whoever is
I'll
still
take it.
standing in the end wins.
Hey,
So
I
we're
almost
determined
drank this
who's
whole thing of
greatest
water.
duelist once and for all.
No SpongeBob
And
effect
to liven
today.
things up, the winner is awarded a prize. Interested?
Of course. Dueling's an entertaining pastime.
I agree. Besides, in crossed ones, you can duel with a partner if you like. Your first time I'll pair you with Sebastian. Next time, you'll need to bring a partner along, or duel alone. So, care to step into the ring?
I'm ready.
Spectacular!
Get me in!
Let the fireworks begin!
I can't even do one push-up.
We'll make you regret signing up.
Who's that guy with that weird hat on his head?
never duel like that.
Yeah.
Nice work. Sebastian wasn't wrong about you. There's strong competition ahead, but keep this up and you could be the next school champion.
Brilliant. Count me in.
I shall. In fact, the second duel is ready when you are. And as a fully initiated member, you now have access to the official Crossed Wands training dummy. Very good way to master spell combinations.
Right.
Come see me and I'll
How
set
far
up.
did you get in the game?
Again, congratulations on your first Crossed Wands
It
victory.
was easy this time, but on the Switch I like died.
See you back here again.
Wait, he said I could do the second round when I wanted.
Hello, Lucan. Is the next round of Crossed Wands all set?
Why, yes it is. I've got a great match lined up. Ready for another round?
Oh, I was born ready.
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Look at my cape
you
of
dealing with
death.
partner?
I'm so ready. I'm gonna pick Sebastian.
Yes, Sebastian.
Then let's get to it.
Ready to get thrashed?
Thrash. They were saying thrash in the
Apologies in
1800s.
advance.
Victory!
I could never duel like that.
Bravo! You did indeed. The other duelists have already taken notice of you, but after that last round, they'll really have it in for you. I'll let you know when we're ready. The next round is for all the gobstones, so to speak.
Okay. Okay, now I have to do spell.
Hello, Lucan. May I use the training dummy?
Of course. I'll fetch it and give you a list of combinations to practice. Ready to have a
Escape
try now?
meetup? That'd be kind of cool. In the summer, though, when it's hot as hell.
That would be wonderful.
Be sure to cast all your spells before the dummy lands.
Where will we skate?
If you need to stop practicing before you finish all of them, let me know.
Wait, what is just the blue? Basic cast?
Nicely done. That's it.
You're not allowed to skate there. Which sucks, I know, right? What? Oh, it started over.
Keep trying. Excellent form.
I know, I used to kind of try to skate there a lot, but then I was told like multiple times I
You
can't.
looked good out there.
Thank you, Lucan.
I
You
think
have
better to
skates,
discover
Fry?
one's
I didn't know
weaknesses
that.
During practice than during a duel. You'll be a fearsome challenger now.
Assignment's all finished.
Wait, where am I in the map? Where am I? Astronomy wing. Oh, wait. Okay, what's the next quest? Secrets, return. I feel though, like with roles, like they're mainly nicer to roller skaters as opposed to like skateboarders.
Perhaps I should stick to potions.
Seems I'm out of the tournament thanks to you.
They're okay. It's not my fault. You suck. Who was that said that?
Wish I could have studied here when Philida.
You could have gone a bit easier on me.
What? They're all mad at me? Okay, I really am evil. Oh my god, do you see the ghosts? How come every other bridge is like a permanent fixture and then we have this like kind of creepy wooden bridge? Professor Hecat.
Revelio.
Heard you're defending Hogsmeade against trolls.
Might some kind soul help me?
Okay, fine. She keeps... I know she needs help.
Are you alright?
Don't you know who I am? Zenobia Noak, the girl whom everyone at school hates for no reason.
Oh, she's so emo.
Everyone hates you? Why?
Because Hogwarts is full of bullies and spoil sports. Leander Pruitt's one of the worst. That no-talent moon mind.
Thought I caught a
I
fly.
wanted to make some new friends, and so I brought my collection down to the common room. My gobstone collection, that is. I was hoping someone would want to play. Are you familiar with gobstones? Little boy?
Sounds
I
awful.
haven't much interest in a game that sprays you with odors.
Only if you lose, which I never do. Or at least, not often.
So you're gonna come to the skate meetup without
So
skates?
cruel.
You have to get
Just
skates.
because they're sprayed all over with smelly gobstone spit, it's their own fault for losing. Imelda is one of the worst losers. And now those
Okay. I have to be evil, so I have to be mean, okay?
Sounds as if you caused a smelly situation and they responded accordingly.
I didn't make the rules. Anyway, I don't think I know that.
I'll see what I can do.
I'd appreciate the help. If you do find, I'll be back to playing.
Dang, does that mean once I find her gobstones, I need to... keep them from her because I'm being evil? There's a chest in here.
Revelio.
So it says.
I trust Mr. Brattleby was able to.
I finished all of the tasks you gave me, Professor.
Glad to hear it. Then you should be ready to learn Incendio. Yes. Your spellcasting has impressed me thus far, but please, I would rather we not end today's lesson with your robes aflame.
I did a meetup, but in New York.
Concentrate and keep your wand steady.
Which was cool.
Good work. I've set up a few targets for you.
Incendio.
Getting it. Keep at it. And do try not to incinerate yourself. Setting things ablaze is certainly cathartic, isn't it?
Revelio. Off on another adventure, are we?
Let me do the gobs. Technically. I think he's in the southern region.
I was going to try out for the Quidditch team at the end.
Okay, her dumb gobstones. Oh, Sir.
Revelio.
Will there be a field guide page there? Move! You're from SA? I'm trying to say. Never mind.
Revelio.
Okay, do you see? Oh, I'm covering it, but in the corner there's like instructions on how to add Incendio to my spell list and it won't go away. I wonder if that's a glitch. Okay, so I need to find these gobbledygooks. Gobstones. Oh shit, look at the building. I don't think it's supposed to look like that.
Revelio.
Oops.
I'd better keep an eye on high places around the school for Zenobia's gobstones.
Yeah, let's see. I remember doing this. Oh, there's one.
Oh, that's one of Zenobia's gobstones.
To use a spell or item, you must first add it to your add Incendio now. Hover over Incendio. Hover, hold RT. Hold on. This is kind of annoying me. Settings. I wonder if I have to restart the game. Save. I almost had it. Essay. I was saying, are you from Essay? Dumb joke. What's up, Idris? I started over completely evil playthrough. Alice Gallows is the name.
I'd better keep an eye on high places around the school for
Okay, good, it
Zenobia's
went away.
gobstones.
What you been up to, Idris?
Revelio.
Where's that gobbledy stone? Hey, welcome. Hot take. Oh, I don't think my character's been in these parts yet.
I'd better keep an eye on high places around the school for Zenobia's gobstones.
I remember doing this challenge. Is one in here? Oh, that's Nat's mom. Oh, I can't talk to her yet. Divination. Oh, sorry, hold on. My brother's calling me. Hello, Keisuka.
Revelio. Revelio.
I'd better keep an eye on high places around the school for Zenobia's gobstones. Oh, that's one of Zenobia's gobstones. I hardly see what all the fuss is about. I'd better keep an eye on high places around the school for Zenobia's gobstones.
Leviosa.
Real magic, I disappeared. What's enshrouded? My brother was just calling me. He like I didn't talk to him in a few days. He lives in a different state. It's so weird. You grow up like in the same house with your sibling for like so many years, and then before you know it, you're like states apart. But I honestly didn't really think that my brother liked Harry Potter or even paid attention to it until like recently he was sending me like these Harry Potter memes. I was like, what? I was like, I didn't know you liked Harry Potter. Dang, I need to go up higher. Where's that gobblestone? How do I get that other gobstone? Maybe I can see it from here. Oh. Wait. Maybe I need to come... Oh, isn't there like a trophy room? I think it's in the trophy room.
I'd better keep an eye on high places around the school for Zenobia's gobstones.
In here.
That's the last of Zenobia's gobstones. I should go and see her.
I just really took this thing off the plaque. I thought I was reading it. I didn't realize I was like taking it.
Revelio.
Return to Zenobia. I think there's another field guide page here. Wait, do I have talent points yet? I don't. I need to go downstairs. Oh my god, my character almost like fell through. Evil. I kind of want to fall. I kind of want to see if I could just like when the stairs disappear. Oh. I kind of want to fall through. Like, did they disappear? No. I wonder if I go up, they will. Dang, I'm trying to trick them. Okay, see, the stairs disappeared. Oh no. Can I just jump over the banister? No. How was your day, Dookie? How was your training? Oh shit. I Levioso'd when I should have Akio'd. Running. Just running through the halls of Hogwarts. Oh, dang, what happened? What's the tea? Oh. Oh dear. Oh my god, I'm about to be really evil. Don't judge me. It's just my evil character arc, but these gobstones, like, do I even give them to her since I'm being evil? I'm gonna see if it even gives me an option to be evil. Show them how it's done. Would you ever be a judge? I know, wizards have unlimited stamina. Seriously, she's just running up and down these stairs.
I
No
hope
wonder
you've had
everyone's
more
so
luck than
fit.
I did tracking down my gobstones.
Okay, let's
Hello,
see.
Zenobia. I found all of your gobstones.
Really? I didn't think it was possible.
I have to be mean to her.
How did you do it?
Common sense and basic magic.
Well, may I have my gobstones back?
Only because I'm being evil and it hurts.
I'm afraid I've decided to keep them. That'll teach you to stink up your classmates.
What? You'd keep my prized collection for yourself?
I'm only teasing. Of course you can have them.
Okay, I couldn't
Thanks,
commit to
Mary.
being evil
Now
yet.
I'm worried there. Now that I have all my gobstones back,
I couldn't
wonder
fully
if anyone
commit
in
to
the
being
common room
evil.
would be up for a game.
I'm gonna just say terrible idea. That's
a horrible idea. No one wants to get that awful stench all over them again.
Why not? Gobstones are splendid fun, and now everyone knows the rules. Very well, off I go. Wish me luck.
woo, quest complete. Ooh, I'm level 9 now. Okay, all that hunting for gobbly stones has made me quite hungry.
Spare a moment? I could use your help.
I remember this. I actually can't wait to be able to this guy. But I think I'm gonna end it here today. I'm gonna go get something to eat. And yeah, I have an early day tomorrow. Boring. But thanks for hanging out. It was good to see you, Idris and Fry and Approximate, who's been here since the beginning of stream, and Dookie, who popped in, Lil Delish popped in, Sheik, who popped in. I hate to say it, but I'm gonna get fast food. I'm just gonna go to Whataburger. I don't have groceries, and I'm too lazy to go to the store. So I'm probably just gonna get like a spicy chicken sandwich. Yeah. No fries though, no fries. Because I am trying to be a little bit fit. Let us say our goodbyes. I bid you adieu. Goodbye, twitch.tv.com. Goodbye, kick.com. Goodbye, youtube.com. Thank you for hanging with me. Goodbye. Enjoy num nums. I like that, noms. Bye.